ability.
I think I'm just going to say, just going back to the Acom at the Mag 7, that's just flat out ballsy. But going away from that one now, we are going to be looking to see what the outcome of this round will be. And, well, for Envyus, it's, well, we want to get on towards the A site. They're making quite a good chunk of noise. There really isn't anyone on the VP side able to really clock onto that one just yet, but they should have an idea that there's at least one player there. And that's something they can work with, especially when you look towards Happy. He's playing this lurk role, something we see him do so much, but he's just going to be deleted off the face of the earth. Pasha going to take him down a peg. And now they do have the 1-man advantage, holding this crossfire, and this is a very nice setup, because Snax, he gets one free pick. The trade will come in from Kenny S. The angles aren't quite there. Sixer going to pull something out of thin air on towards Taz, which is a bit uncomfortable. Kenny S now going to be doing the work, popping off somewhat. And that's frags being found, and well, this is huge for Envyus, because they've made this one work, where VP really should have been able to hold things off.
Apex left with just a 5-7 as he drops his Mac 10. Kenny, he's holding the angle, trying to get the shot, and does the damage and the no-scope. That is wonderful stuff to finish that round off.
Push. So for VP, that's what I want to see. Can they start to play a little bit more aggressive and also start winning the information war? Because on CT's side, we've discussed many a cast, and pretty much everyone out there discusses the fact that you need to have some information on your CT side. You can't just go and flat in dry, because 9 times out of 10, unless you're playing very specific styles of teams, you are going to find yourself being hard countered by flat-out aggression, solid utility, and overall good flashes. But we're back into things. Already we can see it's still the same old scoreline, and well, now we're looking to see if VP can actually enter the scoreboard. The problem is, and it's a very bleak problem, it's just pistols, Tom.
Yeah, they've got some nades though, and already the first has done a nice amount of damage to Happy. So looking at what the other two are actually going to be used for, I think they're both over towards B as well. So if there is any sort of push, there's still a double nade to come in, and well, the majority of players are over towards that B side. It's very early in the round, so there's no real dedication to this just yet. That second nade is actually going to do even more. Happy is just being brutally like bludgeoned down on HP, and well, he's now going to throw out the flashbang to have a little bit of a peek. Not quite connecting the shots there. I thought Bialy may be able to just remove him from the map, and they're actually going to throw a secondary flash just as they move back. And well, now, as said, it was very early in the round. They're going to go all the way back. They've realized that there's not too much to play with here. They're actually going to avoid the choke point that's on long. The only real factor is the fact that there is now a bit of a flank.
There's also a bit of a crossfire starting to build up, but the problem is the range. Snax is going to be trying to do somewhere from behind, but shots will land, but it's just not quite going to be fatal. Well, now we're looking at SMGs and rifles, moving Virtus.pro down a piece, and well, the big problem for me was, yes, they've taken a lot of damage. Happy took a lot of damage very early on, but it wasn't quite enough. Now, Taz, he's managed to get himself behind Sixer. We'll pick off one, picks up a second dot towards Kenny. How on earth did he pick that one up? He has got the AWP, as you say, needs to land another shot, picks off Apex. Now he can do some work. That's easy. 4 shots left, though, and that's the huge factor here. Tom, 4 shots, turns around, goes for the second shot with the AWP, but the answer finally going to be a flat-out no. But the fact we even had to get into that one is somewhat surprising, because that should have been a very easy round just to shut out.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I feel like him being able to get away with that much with just a CZ is a bit scary, even given the opportunity to reload and pick up an AWP. So when it came down to that last shot, if he'd hit that, then he actually had a huge chance. And considering what they put into that round, the reward was definitely worth it. Mainly the reward of what Taz put in. He doesn't get too much money back off the CZ, but what he actually removed from the MV side was valuable. Not going to hurt their economy too much. They've made a lot of money off the SMG buys and the fact that a lot of the rounds have been relatively clean. In terms of the buy now, though, we do have Snax on an AWP, so they're still playing 2 players over towards that A site, which can leave holes. And in terms of the actual mid presence where we see that sort of window play, it's not there at all. So Drop is solely being held by Bialy at the moment, so a lot of pressure on his shoulders. In terms of the rest of the play, we're just looking at this A presence again. Again, it doesn't have to go just yet, but at the same time, it's a Virtus.pro style of play of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, we'll just keep going to go this way.
This position from Taz, though, I'm very scared for Envyus. If they decide to work at all through the smoke, they could have a very nice gift wrap surprise waiting for them right around this corner. You can see them getting themselves ready. The flash is going to pop off. Sixer, he has an idea, but Snax, he's already going to be delivering a very fatal blow straight to the hands of Devil. So not the ideal way to kick things off. You can see Snax, the reason he's pushing up and getting aggressive is to play this bait and switch role. They don't want them to check the corner. They want all eyes to be on Snax. That's where Taz gets to go huge. Because now Snax, he's just going to be peeking back out again, trying to really play that one quite well. Paz, he's going to go for the peek. Finds himself 1 pick. The Iron Snax, they're just going to do the rest of the work.
How did Apex get that far out and not have any impact at all? That's a little bit
huge
of a
factor
problem.
alone in that round.
He got very, very far. I think the crossfire was nice, and the flashbang thrown by Sixer actually did so much. He blinded both, but nobody peeked, so unfortunately not going to have any sort of impact on the round so far. Of course, not really anything too crazy to talk about here. They just got shut down. Eventually, the A hold worked out nicely. The crossfire was in play, and they'd even, by the time the site push actually came in, you could see there was a third player on the site waiting in case the two players up close did go down. So nice hold there from VP. Of course, they've got to continue this into the next round, and now we do see sort of Envy going, okay, now we're going to start over towards this B site. We've already seen them rotate away after finding frags or just baiting out rotations, so there's still the potential there, but now they have fallen back. It's almost as if they know. They've gone, okay, we've beaten them on A. This is us. We know that if we grind somewhere it doesn't work, then we just switch for a bit. So they've left one player on A and now got their more common setup of the window position and bENdetta holding further back and just isolating them over towards this drop position. However, that's not going to help. bENdetta pushes away, and that's going to just hand Pasha's life over the smoke a little bit too late, and now a man advantage for Envy.
Just leaving me out to dry. A very unfortunate decision being made, and that's going to be the trigger point. They're just going to push straight on towards this site. Apex going to pick up one Taz, trying to do a job to hold things off. Neo going to be there at Aiden, picking up 2 apiece. Sixer trying to trade things back. Happy going to do some work of his own. And, well, this leads to the very bludgeoning outcome of Snacks left alone. A 1 versus 2, an AWP in hand. He does have a kit, that's a good factor. Going to be going for the first shot. Cuts it very close, but a skin of his teeth, Kenny will get away.
Oh, there you go.
The second shot, it's going to be enough to seal the deal.
Yeah, peeks back into the AWP of Kenny, and
this is one hell of a setup taking place, as now it's one player left to do the work. It's all going to be on Snacks. He's only got a rifle. They're barreling out right, head first towards him. He will find one on towards Kenny. But will it be enough to hold those floodgates?
Rotation's very quick, though, from VP. They've already brought 3 players over towards Snacks in this off angle. He's done his job perfectly, finds 3 kills, and that's just going to leave them with 2 to try and force the issue. They've got a minute left. They don't have to dedicate, but I feel like they've just pushed way too far up. And look at the position of Happy. He made it work nicely to force them to stay on B, but then the push just came out. They weren't able to shut down Snacks. He did get 2 back, but it's not quite going to be enough, and that will be another round on the board for VP. So much better from them. In terms of that buy, I don't really know how that paid off, and it was a bit unfortunate because, well, it was unfortunate for Envy, but great work from Snacks because he finds the first kill, does a little bit more damage, takes some himself and falls back, and by that point he's already spotted out, what, 3-4 players, and just basically goes, okay, everybody rotate. But Happy's already rotating back over to join up with his team, which is what I wanted to see. Unfortunately, the team itself doesn't manage to do the damage.
We have 2 options for Envy. They can go hard and fast or slow and steady with these Tech 9s. They've basically went to equalize their economy, and it seems like we are going to be seeing
slow and steady and Tech 9s in the same sentence? Are you mad?
There is an opportunity. Some teams have been able to pull it to complete success just by waiting for that first pick and then charging in like bulls as you have that red flag just waved in front of your face. Seems like Envyus, they are kind of waiting for that. They're seeing where they can find themselves a pick, and that'll be the biting point. The problem is the site they're pushing towards. Pasha is there, well, with a very nice Mag 7 in hand. And he could be the one to go absolutely huge in this round of VP.
I think the first point of contact there was just to make as much noise as they could over towards A and rotate away, because they have actually pulled the defense a little bit. One player will still remain, that's going to be Taz over towards drop, but in terms of the actual hold, it's very weak, I would say, over towards the site. Unfortunately, they don't have a long-range weapon, and this just allows Neo to just spray one down, and Pasha, he's not been realized. This is the worst possible scenario. He's dropped the bomb on the plat. Tech 9s are going to achieve nothing. A clean round for VP, building up their economy, and, well, that went really wonderfully for them. The fact that they didn't check that corner, there was no hope after that point because the bomb was on the plat.
Nice and smooth, and that's what they need. Just these clear-cut rounds, no losses being made, and, well, because economy is going to be a big factor for them in terms of them bringing themselves back into this matchup, because the scoreline right now, it was starting to look a little bit bleak, but 6-3, that's not half bad played.
And I like this. They've actually adapted their drop hold just because of in the last round, aiming for bENdetta at all, it was 100% just to try and take it for Apex! 2 headshots, really nice stuff there, just spray control on point. Devil finds another, and that was perfectly done from him. There's only 1 player left on the site. Again, it's going to be Snacks, and well, they went from doing wonders on A to wonders on B. The drop change up was just trying to save Pasha, and instead they lose both players in one foul swoop.
Good night, sweet dreams, Virtus.pro. A roundhouse kick delivered brutally to their front door. Snacks, he is the last man remaining. Maybe he will fall. Looks like it potentially could be happening as Happy. He's quick on his heels, just really nipping away to see if he can be the man to do the job. Ultimately for Snacks, no matter the outcome here, it's been a pretty brutal round. It's now Envyus really stepping up to the plate and starting to chain things together. Virtus.pro, their economy is certainly it's good because of a couple of factors, but it's not going to be enough to keep them constantly buying back into things.
Well, I don't think they have enough to buy back into this. Yeah, the other thing to mention though is if they continue the streak that they're doing at the moment, they're, like in terms of money, they're going to be able to buy even if they lose one. So if they get to say 11, 12 rounds, win a pistol, it depends how good you really value the T side of Virtus.pro. I don't think they're just going to string that many rounds in a row together to just end it. So they need to get some CT rounds. They need to do something here. Snax on the A side, the reason things have gone wrong in the last few is because he's had to rotate away back to B after everybody's dead. 4 players and only really dropping maybe 1 or 2, and that's not good enough. You need to be finding these frags, and they are just constantly trying to edit the way they're playing. This time they've abandoned drop in a very different way, seeing the rotation come back in from Bialy, but they're now having 3 players onto the actual site itself, granted almost in a straight line along the wall, and they've switched it now that Taz is the one player over towards A, so giving a lot more over to Snax. He's got that AWP, holding the angle as well, so trying to switch things up again. So definitely props for adaptation, but I don't know. It's getting to a point where if Envy get too many more rounds, they're actually looking like they're going to take this.
What comes to mind for me is you basically have to cherish the little things, because both of these teams are making these small, subtle changes when it comes down to peeking. And Apex is going to go for a bit of a different one, the sidewinder peek, and he just makes it work. Pulse 2 out of nowhere. Neo finally going to answer back, but I feel like that's a phone call that he just wanted to slam down way too early. A salesperson that he want nothing to do with, but he lets it string on. Well, now Taz is going to be doing some work of his own, finds 2, a spray down being made. But it's still fairly rough as Devil. He's completely intact. He's hungry for Neo, and he's going to catch him somewhat off guard, trying to go for the frag. Nearly makes a meal of things, though, and that could be...
How was he caught Snax?
Snax.
What? I don't know what happened with Snax there. What? Was he picking up another weapon? I genuinely have no idea how he just didn't know where Devil was. Didn't seem to be paying attention. This has come back to a 1v1. Devil's been handed a lifeline, and the life, you look at Neo, he doesn't have very much at all. He's got to hit this headshot. Holding the position over towards Chicken, and we are just looking at Neo now. He's slowly edging his way back around the site, but the angle is being held. This should...
But it's all well and good doing his job. The rest of his team, not so much. Snax being caught completely off guard. No idea what he was even doing around that pillar. He stared at a player and was caught just, left standing, no ability to respond.
Even the start of the round where Apex manages to just sort of push in and find 2 kills while there's 2 players watching that angle. Pasha is the only one not... Well, he's sort of just a bystander, and every time he seems to be the one getting shot, and he just could sort of like, oh, well, nothing I could do here. But great work from Apex again. He's just been, brutalizing that drop-down position, just going down and going, okay, that's 2 kills for me, whether it's up the top, like looking down, or whether he drops down into it and finds another 2. But if you're getting 2 frags at the beginning of every round, yes, they brought it back, but that's just such a brutal way to start things off, and props to him really stepping up at the moment. And this was one of the highlighted factors. This was one of the things that Des spoke about, that if this guy, along with Kenny, is able to step up, they're a team to be reckoned with no matter what's in the roster, whether they have 6 or not. And 6 has been doing some great work too.
Well, that's the thing. It's not like 6 has been asleep and he's at the back pedestal not really doing some work. No, he's finding frags. He's doing a job that his team have given him, and it's all working out. And, now, Virtus.pro, they're still left with just pistols, crumbs to play with. Can they do any damage at all? Well, Happy, he's just going to give a decisive headshot on towards Pasha. And at this point, it feels like Virtus.pro, they're just being smashed back into the ground. And I've seen this once before today. I sat there, I had belief in Virtus.pro to bring things back. But at this point, is it even credible? They're having a very tough CT side. Taz, he's going to do some work with the CZ.
A lot of damage. Hell of a lot of damage being done. But it doesn't look like it'll be enough unless Neo can connect some remaining shots. Kenny has the one-shot weapon, but so does Neo. Just a little bit more difficult. Time is also on his side. Only 8 seconds left. He's actually going to find one. And now Kenny, he's planting the bomb. He's got to try and find this kill. Neo doesn't quite manage to do it. Does a lot of damage. Don't really expect him to get that far. But Pistol's doing work. But at this point, it's 11-3 at least. 12-3 could be coming up if they don't manage to bring this back. They will have a bye. They have the AWP now actually in the hands of Pasha, who hasn't been able to do too much. He's been skimping onto that sort of Mag 7 a lot of the time, and he's had to sort of have the problem of, okay, someone's gone drop and killed me. So I do feel a little bit sorry for him, but at the same time, he hasn't done too much even when. The only memorable kill I can actually think of is the one where they had the Tech 9s on Envy and he found that kill while sat in the corner. Other than that, hasn't been too much to rave about in terms of Pasha either way. But double AWPs, they are going all in for this final round of the half. And Envy, they've got to be feeling so happy and getting pretty pumped up at this stage.
They're going to be feeling the fire. It's going to be pushing them further and further into this matchup because this is very important for them. Of course, the loser of this team, that's it. There is done. There is no stadium for them, Tom. Their journey here is over, and Envyus right now, they're proving they want it, and well, they want it in one hell of a fashion. These two players we mentioned, they're stepping up in a very nice way, but it's not just them, it's the entire team. And well, KennyS, he's already going to be popping into action. Takes down Pasha, a player that we've already said has just unfortunately been the target of these entry picks practically every round.
Yeah, this time he does try to go for an AWP peek and gets punished for that very moment. byearly up higher this time, and will Apex be ready for this? He has blinded him up. The counter flash, actually coming from a teammate, I'm not sure, but either way, looking towards Neo now. Coming in from behind, finds one, actually switches out to the AWP after running out of ammo, looking for a little more. It's a 2v2 in this circumstance. Kenny going to go aggressive, and this leaves one man alone. Snax to try and bring this back, already taking a hell of a lot of damage. Looking like a 12-3 may be inevitable, but he's got to try and bring this one.
Playing around the pillar, a couple of flashes going to be popped. The smoke going on towards door really will aid Envyus in terms of slowing things down. They want advantage for Snax. Now he has an opportunity to try and go a bit crazy, but you can see Happy, he's completely aware of what is going on. He's holding the angle.
Well, 2 Mag 7s in play, one with no armor. Happy with the pistol, and same with Sixer, and then just a dig onto Kenny, possibly saving a little bit of money.
Maybe Virtus.pro are out of the count after all. Maybe they're trying to play to the tune of proving me wrong, because I am starting to lose faith. I'd be kind of lying if I said I wasn't, especially after just the results in general today and overall individual performances. Asher needs to start doing something here. Apex with a Mag 7 spams 2 shots through the smokes, connects both of them on towards Taz. Neo, he will start things off with a Mag 10 though, finding the first blood on towards Kenny. A nice start, but Sixer, he's out on the site, and does anyone even know he's there?
Yeah, well, they will eventually take him down. It was a little bit sneaky there. Happy will find one, but he doesn't have any HP left, so there's not too much worth going for here. We'll throw out the nade, and Neo very low on HP, 6 in fact, but not enough to actually remove him from the map. Happy still lurking around this position, but eventually will fall back, and Apex looking like he's just trying his best to save this Mag 7. Of course, could have some value later on. Not going to, in fact, except for the $600 that he hands over to byearly when falling. A lot of damage has actually been done in this round. SMGs galore on the side of Virtus.pro, but they will win the round. They get themselves to 5. And now we will have to see likely some sort of eco coming out from Envy.
The most important factor for VP is the slow slog begins. They're starting to build things up. They've got themselves to 5. They do have a couple of chances to play with because Envyus are only at 13. But then I say that as if it's a light feat. They're at 13. It's still a very long distance for them to pull things off. But yeah, have found themselves the last 2 rounds. They should basically, without really any resemblance, and all be able to pull away this third. The big thing for me is going to be the follow-up buy round coming in from Envyus and what sort of response we start to see from the CT side.
But they've just got to do the same as their opposition did. Build up some money, get momentum rolling, find the weaknesses and exploit them. One of them was definitely drop in the last half, and well, it's looking like they're trying to find the same here. Of course, we already see just the farming begin. byearly getting 2 kills, $1,200 made. Sixer with nothing in the bank. Happy, the only one with anything left. And Apex, well, he's just going to try and do as much as he can. Manages to earn himself an extra $300, but that will be all. And 6 now on the board for the Polish.
Now we get to see, really, what are Envyus made of on the CT side? Something we've really all been waiting to see. Well, it's KennyS with the AWP. Rifles starting to be brought back into the table. We really should see the follow-up coming from Devil unless he decides to go for a crazy shotgun play, which is not going to happen. It's going to be the 4 flat rifles backed up by the AWP of KennyS. And we mentioned that Apex and Kenny, they were playing on point in the first half. Something I kind of followed up with was I wanted to see what they can do on the CT side because it's much harder to do the work.
I don't think anybody had a bad first half. In fact, I think everybody had their moments, and Kenny was definitely good to start them rolling and have some important picks across the board. But definitely Apex was someone to highlight, especially with the pistol ace. I don't even know how that really happened. I think I almost lost my voice off the back of that one into the supersonic zone. But either way, they are now back with the buy. Kenny onto the AWP. Solo play will be on Apex's shoulders, and there's a little bit of a rotation from Happy, but he's still just holding outside. Not going quite as close to the window as we see from Taz, but still holding that area to try and stop them. I think he got surprised last time, so doesn't want to basically make sure that that happens again. We do see the AWP onto Snax once more, and Neo still playing with the Mag 7, which was picked up in the previous round, so they are still trying to make money.
Yeah, money making is going to be the aim. Well, you can see a bit of utility being expended, a pop flash thrown straight on over to the B site, basically trying to distract them and force them to maybe have a bit of second thoughts as already near. He will be doing the work, follows up with a second headshot straight on towards 6, a very nice impact being made. Kenny trying to claw something back.
He's going to get 3.
He's caught completely off guard, now he's just trying to do even more. Apex will pick off 1 through the smoke, finally punishing this Mag 7. But now still the 2 versus 3. The bomb is going to make its way down. Pasha going to be looking to do some work of his own. Apex going to be aiding this reversed boost coming on in as Happy wants to go over from platform. Will it work out for them? It's still 2 versus 3. The HP well and truly intact on all of these players alike. It doesn't feel like there's too much of a window for Envyus to try and pull this one off.
Yeah, I don't think they're going for this one. Just going to try and hold back, maybe do a bit of extra damage. They've got quite a few rounds to play with still, even after this. There's 6 rounds before level pegging is even a possibility for Virtus.pro, so definitely want to, well, just play it a little bit more slow, not go for anything too crazy. A bit like, well, talking of crazy, Neo there, just pushing out, finding 3 kills. And there you go, they managed to drop 2. Snacks will survive at the back of the site, and they will in fact pick up a couple of AKs as well. So in terms of the buy, it is just going to be those 2 AKs. Of course, no harm in saving on the CT side. You still get that loss bonus money, and the rest of the team just going to go for some pistols off the back of that and be ready to buy in the next.
One thing we can't take away from VP is they are making it work. They're chaining these rounds together and making this slow slog turn into a bit of a rapid success as they got themselves to 7.
It's only 4. They've got 4 in it.
It's a good start, though. I think we certainly can't rail on them. You know, we've been quite positive for the fact that Envyus are doing their job. VP, on the other hand, they're starting to land their shots. They're starting to really prove that T-side is a successful point of couple. We can already see 2 frags being found by byali, utilizing his rifle quite well. And the one perk for Envyus is the 2 rifles they've got are actually left standing. But there's so much time on the clock and really not much opportunity for them to be able to find too much.
Yeah, and in fact, it looks like they're actually going to go all the way over towards B. So the smokes have been thrown, and it looks like they've been baited. As now every other player of VP makes their way over towards that A site. There's no real hope for some sort of retake in this scenario. Of course, Devil doesn't really have anything to lose except for the value of his life, which is placed around $300, and that will go straight into the hands of Taz. The other 2 players they may as well save. They have some utility, they have Kevlar, and of course the AKs, which are the more viable of the rifles. If they can find an exit frag, it may be worthwhile. They can buy in the next, but I would prefer it if they just kept the AKs.
I think that would be the smart decision, but just as you speak,
Devil
he fights back. Apex is going to fall. Happy soon to follow. It means that Envyus, they will not be saving anything into this next round. They are going to be having to buy in completely dry. Thankfully, the economy is on their side. They will be able to still buy up the rifles nonetheless, but at least still getting the AWP into the hands of Kenny S. So it's well, basically everything they need in terms of tool set to deliver around on the board. VP, on the other hand, we really have to start centralizing on the fact they're starting to build up their coffers. $10,000 in the bank, or so, give or take some on Pasha. Starting to build up a good chunk on Snacks as well. Starting to look much better from them.
Yeah, of course. byali finding some nice opening kills in the last round, and we gave a huge amount of praise to Apex. byali is going to be that sort of counterpart role. We do have Snacks back with that AWP and plenty of utility to play with on both sides, actually. So definitely see whether or not this will help out Envyus as such, because the last buy they had was, of course, the one after the sort of save position. You don't normally have the same amount of utility as they do now. So this is their best chance so far. This is the sort of opening position, and if they lose this one, then things get scary. Kenny will find one. He is sort of isolated to the right side at the moment, but there's not going to be any response, not even a spray through, so he will just be able to retreat. And I feel like, knowing his position, it may have just been better to try and challenge that. They are going to spray now, but it's too little too late. Molotov it out. It doesn't matter. They couldn't even see if he was there, and he's escaped back. So nice start from Kenny. Finds the first frag. They know he's not there anymore, but he's got away with it.
Well, that's the thing. They've played the kind of, we're going to cut our losses card and basically waited to see if they can claw things back in another manner. The problem with that sort of attitude, they're not making any movements towards any portion of the map. You can see them starting to creep up on towards the B site, but they're running things very low in terms of time. Pushing out on Plateau is not really a smart decision if you're looking for a soul trade. Of course, they're going to be looking to take the site. Neo is actually going to land himself a shot on towards Devil, but this is prime setup for Envyus. They can pick them off one by one. Kenny and Six are picking up one apiece. Taz, he will fight back and pick up one, and now they're going to be playing for the bomb plant. They should be able to get this one down, but Envyus, they're quick on the heels.
Yeah, and actually they're both going to miss, though. That's the bigger thing. byali and Taz, they're doing the work very nicely. This leaves it just down to Happy. Low player and byali. If he gets this frag, he has a big chance, and he hits the headshot. Had the advantage, even in the 2v1 towards the end. Envy, they should have capitalized on it earlier, but they didn't. So either way, they come out with the round, and the only thing that has really taken a hit is the fact that they didn't do it very cleanly. So there is an opportunity now for VP to actually reset their economy straight back down to 0. Kenny will be back on the orb, but it's Sixer and Apex who are the ones struggling.
Devil's going to get himself very, very close, up close, ready to give Pasha a bit of a hug. He decides to go for a push, which, talking about going for a bit of a push, you can see Pasha just spraying away at the corner, trying to see if maybe a couple of shots will land. Unfortunately today, not quite going to be that day. Smoke's starting to be expended on the Envyus side, so the utility's being popped off, but Apex, he's going to do some damage with the Max 7, picks up 2. Now he has to turn around and just hold that angle. But he's got a teammate that help more. Apex is going to find another, finally going to be dropped, but Happy, he's there to play the supporting role, takes down Snacks. And goodbye once again, Virtus.pro. You've been completely dismantled by key players, and
someone from VP needed to close him down. Someone should have taken him out sooner, and by the time they did, everybody else had pounced and they were out of the round. They're going to have another bye. They're going to have another opportunity, but they are one round away from being knocked out of the tournament in joint last. Snacks, this time he punishes Kenny. It is going to be those sort of rifles back on the board for both teams, but this is a position from Devil. It's a decent one. They're not going to check. He'll find one, but it's quickly traded from Neo. Now we look towards Happy. He has to get a frag here at least. He needs to peek out at the right time. The flash is perfect. Finds one, gets the second as well. Sixer looking for a little bit more. It leaves it just down to Snacks in a 1 versus 2. He's going to get the first, looking for more. Doesn't have the bomb, but has plenty of time. It's Sixer, the stand-in, to try and take this over the line for Envyus. And he's going to be rotating all the way back. Actually going all the way round towards A. Is this just some extreme mind games? It is. He's going to go running all the way round. Try and play it off and basically give time for Virtus.pro to plant the bomb, give time to Snacks to sort of take that decision.
Playing a man like Snacks, that's one hell of a card to try and pull off, but props to Sixer, because he is the man to watch. He's creeping up on Plateau. Snacks seemingly having no inkling that Plateau area is the place to be watching. And this could work out, well, in some huge dividends, as now Sixer, he's going to hear the sound cue, going to be creeping on up, ready and waiting to go for the peak. Snacks still not making any inkling, he's going to go for the peak. The Nate time, it could be huge!
He's done it. He's done it. Stand in? Nah. Absolutely perfectly played. He reads him, and I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought Snacks might clock on by that point, but that's it. The teams knocked out today are 2 of the favorites in the tournament. Envy have managed to do it. VP absolutely dominated, didn't have a chance on their CT side.